William Morrow and HarperAudio present The Bang Bang Sisters, a novel by Rio Youers, performed by Kristen Sieh. For Lily Youers, who always inspires me. Prologue. A stream of purified oxygen ran from the concentrator through the nasal cannula, down his trachea and into his lungs. The man, known far and wide as the Wren, paused for several seconds and stared at the sky. It called to him, but he wouldn't take flight until he saw the first drops of blood. The garish digital clock on the Cotter Bryce Tower, 664 feet of glass and steel ugliness, read 8:37. Through the haze of pollutants, the sunset dressed itself in purples and golds. A spectacle anywhere else, but here it was wasted. Here, being Reedsville, Alabama, population 56,700, with an M16 toting mayor and a violent crime rate of 27.8 per thousand people. Regarding this grim statistic, the Wren had played his part. He skirted the noise and crowds of Waterloo Square, keeping to the quieter side streets. Even at this distance, he felt the tug on his skin, the unraveling. Not a complete deterioration, but enough to quicken his heartbeat. He kept walking, frequently touching the cannula to make sure the nasal prongs were secure, and within 20 minutes made it to Pine Vista, the middle-class neighborhood where Susan Oringer lived. The Wren didn't know her. Not personally. They'd had some interaction on Facebook, insomuch as she'd liked and commented on one of his comments. She was 42 years old, a recent divorcee. Her ex was a former MLB player turned civil engineer, with a 20-year-old daughter at UA. She worked as a business manager at a local Harley-Davidson dealership. Her favorite cuisine was Vietnamese, and her favorite movie was Titanic. For the longest time, Susan's Facebook cover photo was Jack and Rose flying on the bow of the doomed ocean liner. She had changed her hair recently, cut it shorter, dyed it darker, and had lost 24 pounds since separating from her husband, due in part to the spin classes she attended every Monday and Wednesday evening. She lived alone. It was light enough to see, but shadowy enough to not be seen. The Wren entered Susan's property via a neighboring garden. No fences here. The owners of these mature lots frowned on fences, favoring strategically placed trees and bushes for their privacy. More shadow, more cover, all to the good. The Wren removed leather gloves from his pocket and worked his hands into them. He crossed the garden swiftly, using his ears as well as his eyes. Above the low electric whir of his concentrator, he heard teenagers splashing in a nearby pool, a freight train ripping through the crossing on Confederation Avenue, a radio tuned to one of the local country music stations. He edged from the shadows and hunkered low next to one of Susan's basement windows. It was Wednesday evening. Susan was still spinning. He imagined her briefly, straddling her bike, her cropped tank glued to her back with sweat. The Wren tried the window, but it was locked. He tore through the screen and thumped the glass with the fleshy side of his fist until it cracked, then removed large, jagged pieces quietly. He reached inside, flipped the catch, and pulled the window open. It was narrow, but the Wren was a small bird, and he slipped inside easily. He dropped down into a laundry room, gloomy, smelling thickly of Tide, but infinitely more comfortable than the chaos of the outside world. The walls were solid, dependable. The Wren touched them and closed his eyes, acclimating to this new environment, soon feeling confident enough to shut off his concentrator. There were still a few tight bands.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?